Yep. Good morning, everyone. So, for online people, is it audible? Everyone, right? Online people, is it audible? Is it clear? Comments? Yes. Okay. So, fine. So, last session, what we learned is about some diagrams, database models. Have you prepared them? I asked you to design those database models now. Have you prepared those database models? Anyone submitted in class? In the classroom, I will check. Anyone designed those? Okay. Few people created, only 2-3 people uploaded. Others? I asked you to try now. Huh? So when you are developing an application, whatever tasks are given to you, you have to try them. Huh? So you need to design those diagrams, conceptual model, logical model, physical model. Only 2 people uploaded 1-2 diagrams. Okay, so you try those diagrams. And for online tutorials, what is the option we discussed? The option we discussed is about some database. Okay. So in the database, what are the requirements I explained? So we are creating a video tutorial. In video tutorial, so database we need to prepare for whom? We have to prepare a database for users, and we need to prepare for whom? Admin. Another one, videos. 3 details we need to maintain for users, for admin, and for videos. So we will learn how to manage everything now first. Actually, you can create everything visually. Without learning any command, you can do that. But learning commands is important, because any technology can communicate with the database only by using what? by using commands. So you need to be aware of commands. So today we will see MongoDB commands. How do we work with the commands and deal with the commands? We will see the MongoDB commands. Okay. Na? So the MongoDB commands, what are the commands required? First important, generally where we try these commands we try in shell. Just like a terminal that we have in Visual Studio, you will have a shell, Mongo shell. This is MongoDB Compass. In this MongoDB Compass, this is MongoDB Compass. In this MongoDB Compass, you see already here, we are having some databases. By default, when you install MongoDB, you will have some default database. By default, we have admin, config, local like database. First, I showed you already how to connect server and how to connect client. For that, what is the address? Right, 127001, port number 27017, connection string. After that, now you can open this terminal. At the bottom, Mongo shell is there. You can open this terminal. This is the Mongo shell. In this Mongo shell, we can try commands. All the MongoDB commands we can try here. The MongoDB commands we can try here. What are the commands? Let's see. MongoDB is case sensitive, same like JavaScript. All the commands you have to follow capitalization correctly, right? So in the MongoDB commands, we have first one, to view the list of existing databases. To view the list of existing databases. To view the list of existing databases, you have to use the command show dbs. Show dbs. That is the command to see the existing databases. So what are the existing databases? You can see the list by using show db. So here you can type show dbs. Show dbs, it will show the list of database. List of database, you can see currently we have 3 databases: admin, config, and local. They are by default databases which are required for managing the MongoDB. To manage MongoDB client, so it will have some ready-made databases. So if you want to create your own database, how to create our own database, right? First here, all databases are there, but you need to make one database active. You need to make one database active. Then you can work with that database. How to know which database is active? To see which database is currently active, you can use another command to view the current active database. Why? Because if you don't know which database is currently active and you run command, it may affect in some other database. That means some database may be active, your command may affect somewhere else. That's the reason first we have to view which database is currently active. How do we do that? Simply to do that, we can use here DB. We can use DB. DB is used to view the current database. Current which database is active, we can see its name by using DB. So see here, I am typing DB. DB will give the current database test. Actually, which database is active already you can see here. There is an database name, right? But if you still want to know the current database active, then you can use the command DB. After that, next one, to create a new database. If you want to create a new database or to start using existing database, to create a new database or to start using existing database, you have to use the command use. Use and the database name. That means you can give any database name, any name. So here the point is, if name is existing, then it starts using the database. If name is that is what first point. Another one is, if name is new, then it will create a new database. That means to use existing database and to see the current active database, for both of them command is same. We have to just use the command use and database name. So here one more important point is, database is created, but it is temporary. Database will not be permanent until or unless you have some data inside. What MongoDB will do is, it will create the database, keep it temporary. If you don't store any data and close MongoDB, then automatically the database is deleted. So a database is not permanent in MongoDB until or unless it is having some table, some data. So here you see now, let's create here. So let's create here the command use and database name. If you give existing database name, it will start using it. You give a new name. What we will give for our database? So I will give tutorial DB. You can give any name, but traditionally people have an habit giving DB as suffix to indicate that it is a database. You can give any name, doesn't matter. I'm giving tutorial DB. Okay, tutorial DB, and you can see currently it's switched now. It's switched. Currently, which database is active? Tutorial DB is active. We will see in list how to see the list of databases. Show DBS. Show DBS will show the list of database, but in that list, there is no tutorial DB. That means a database is created, it will become active, but it is not permanent until or unless some data is stored inside. If you store some data inside, then automatically the database is available. But if you don't store You just created database. Now close MongoDB, open next time, it will be deleted. So database is not permanent until or unless it is having some data, right? So here one more thing you need to note is database is not database name is not displayed in a list until or unless it is configured with some data. It is configured with some data. That means it must have collections. It must have collections. Collections means, I told you, here we call them as databases. Collections means tables. Generally in Oracle and other databases, we call them as tables. In MongoDB, we call them as collections, right? So to create a new database, you have to start using the database by using use database. But it is not shown in the list because it don't have any data. Once you create, then you can have some data. Okay, so database is ready. Database is ready. Next step, in that database, we want to store, in the database, we want to store some data. Generally, as I explained yesterday, data is stored in collection. In MongoDB, we call as collection. So next point, to store data, you have to create collections in a database. You have to create collections in database. To store data, you have to create collections in database. Actually, for that command is db dot create collection and name and attributes. Like this, you can define db dot create collection and name attributes. Actually, attributes are optional. Without attributes also it will work. We can give db dot create collection and you can just give collection name without attributes. It will work. So to store data, you have to create collections in database. So we need to create collections in the database. How to create collections? So we have to do that by using db.create collection. So collection is like a table. Without attributes also we can do. But what are attributes? What attributes we can give? And see, I written in a curly brace means you know the meaning. What does it means? In JavaScript based technology, what is a curly brace means? Object. Object means it will contain some keys and values. Keys and values. Actually, see now, suppose I will open here. We can create like this, db dot create collection and the collection name. Collection name I am giving. What are the tables we need in our database? One is admin, another one users, another one videos, another one categories. 4 tables we need to do. So we will just create first one users. That means create collection users and hit enter. Automatically a collection is created. It will show OK. Similarly, we want another one. What is another one? Create collection. You can use up and down arrow to recall the recent command. And what is that next one? Admin. Okay. Next, we need to create another collection. So what is the collection? Videos. So videos like this and enter. So it is also created. Actually, you can do so db.create collection name, categories, and here we can write options. Options means for creating table, there are certain rules which you can define. Not table fields, rules about table. That means generally, what are these attributes? So collection can be defined with the following attributes. Collection can be defined with following attributes. So what are the attributes you can define for collection? Actually, collection attributes have auto index ID. We have an attribute called auto index ID. It is number type. And what is the purpose of auto index ID? It is nothing but it sets a unique ID for every document in collection. Every document means what? Document is equal to every row, or we can also call as every record. Okay. Every record. For every record in collection, it will put a unique ID. So sorry, auto index ID is not number. Sorry, it is Boolean. Boolean means true or false. That means if you say true, then what will happen? For every record, automatic ID is given. ID you will not give. ID is automatically given. An auto ID is generated. But recently, in latest version, they officially announced that from the new versions, we will remove this feature. But still you can use it in new versions. They are going to remove. Why? Because we don't want an ID automatically generated by them. We want our own ID. We can keep our own unique IDs. In that case, so we don't need this option at all. But currently it is available. You can try. But in future, they are going to remove that option, right? So auto index ID is a Boolean. Boolean means what? It is true or false. If it is true, one extra field will be added. That extra field will be auto index. And if it is false, it will not add. Okay. Next important, we have size. Size is a number. It is nothing but it defines the size, the space allocated for table, space allocated for table in memory. So its value is defined in bytes. Its value is defined in bytes. Means how much space you want to allocate in memory for this table. That you have to mention, but you have to mention by using bytes. That means you cannot mention 2 MB, 4 MB, 5 MB like that. You have to mention by using bytes. So how much data we can store, how much space we can allocate, we can fix the size. When you fix the size, it will not allow to store anything extra. That means maximum, if you say 2 MB, 2 MB. After 2 MB, it cannot allow. So you can fix the size that you can define like this. How to write in bytes? I hope you people know the units. Like actually, how do we define the memory units? 1024 bytes is equal to 1 kilobyte. You know that 8 bits is equal to how much? 1 byte. 1024 bytes equal to 1 KB. 1024 kilobytes is equal to 1 MB. 1 MB. Similarly, 1024 MB. 24 MB is equal to 1 gigabyte, like this. 1024 into 1 terabyte. So MB, right? 1024 GB is equal to 1 TB, like that. Now you have to mention the size in bytes. How to mention bytes? We need to do some calculation. I will show. Suppose I want to allow 4 MB. How? So in calculator, let's see how is 1024 bytes is equal to 1 KB. 1024 into 1024, that is 1 MB. 1 MB into 4, that is 4 MB. That is how we allocate the memory. That is the value. 1024 into 1024, 1 MB. Right? So 1024 into 2, how much? 1024 into 2, it will be 2 KB. 2 KB because 1024 is equal to 1 KB. 1024 into 2, 2 KB. 1024 into 1024, 1 MB. Right? So this is the how we mention the size. Okay. Now, actually, we have auto index ID, we have size. Another one, max. Max is also number. What is this number is? It defines the maximum number of documents, the maximum number of documents allowed in a collection. That means how many records you can have in a collection. Size means how much space. Max means how many documents. Suppose you say 10. That means you can store only 10. More than 10 you cannot store. You can even set the limit for number of records that you can do by using max. Another one, capped. Capped is a boolean again. That means true or false. Actually, so if capped is true, then it will not allow new records. If capped is true, it will not allow new records. It will not allow new records after reaching max size. After reaching max size, it will not allow new records after reaching max size. Actually, if it is false, that means what you done, you said maximum number of records 5 and capped is false. Then what happens? You enter 6th record. If you enter 6th record, the 5th one will be actually 5 only limit. You added 6th one, then the oldest one will be removed and the new one will be added. That means first one will be removed. And this 6th one goes into the place of first. That is the meaning of capped. If capped is true, then what happens? Maximum limit is 5. And what you have done? Maximum limit is 5. You have added one more. Then immediately it says memory full. It will not allow. If capped is false, then the new one will be added by removing the old. That depends on capped, right? That means what will happen if it is false? So if capped is false, so then the new record will replace the old. The new record will replace the old. So these are all important attributes. So we need to use these attributes. Remember, we are creating a table without these attributes. Then what will happen? What is auto index ID? If you are not mentioning these attributes, what is default auto index ID? Default auto index ID is true. That means automatically ID is generated. And what is size? That depends on memory available on their computer. It is not standard. It will be changing. What is max? That also changes. That depends on memory. What is capped? Capped is by default true. Why capped is true? Because if memory is full, there is no place. The new record will not add. It will not delete old ones. If capped is false, it will. By default, capped is what? True. By default, capped is true. So if you don't give these attributes, what will be the default attributes? So here, a simple note is the default auto index ID. Auto index ID. So this is true. Size varies. So max also varies. And capped will be true. Capped will be true. Auto index ID true. Size varies, max varies, and capped will be true. So syntactically, we define like this. db dot create collection, and the collection name is suppose categories, and for that we have options. The option auto index id true. Another one max is 10. Max is 10. Next, size means we need to write in bytes. I will copy this calculator value. This is how much? 4 MB na? But that 4 MB you have to write without commas. This is the 4 MB size. Another is what? Capped. Capped is what? Suppose I say false. That is how we define. Auto index ID, max, size, another one cap. If you don't define those attributes, automatically default values will be taken. And see now, let's go to the collection here. Categories, auto index ID, that is true. And we have size. Size, we will copy this. That is the size. And max I will give 5. And what else? Capped I will set it as true or false. Right? Capped as false, like that. Now hit enter. Now automatically a table is created. Acha, we mentioned size na, so capped must be what? True. True, because capped must be true because we also mentioned the size, right? Now this is the table ready. All the tables are created. So all the tables are defined. So here one more point. This we will set it to what? True, because we mentioned size. If you don't mention size, you can set it false, right? So here one important is how you can see the collections. What are the collections stored? How you can do that? Let's go to the list number 5. To view the list of collections in database. To view the list of collections in database, what we have to do? We need to use the command show collections. So we need to just use show collections. That means we have show collections. Then it will show the list of collections we have. Admin, categories, users, and videos. So to view the collections, we have to just use the command show collections. Okay. That is how we can configure the collection. So now you see show DBS. Now it will be in databases list. So if collections are present, then it will be in databases list. Currently now you are in which database? Tutorial DB. Already it is showing there. You type DB and you can see it will show that. So anything you run, it will run here now. It will affect this database. Okay. Database is ready and tables are ready. So if you want to remove, how I will tell at the end, removing table, removing rows and all. So database is created, tables are created, means collections are created. Now in that collection, we need to put some data. In the collection, we need to store some data. So how we can store the data in a collection? So to store documents in a to store documents into a collection. So to store documents into a collection, MongoDB provides methods. What are those? We have insert one and we have insert many. Actually, earlier we used to have insert also. Insert, but this is obsolete. Obsolete means no longer in use. Obsolete means it is no longer in use. So it is not used anymore in latest version. Earlier people used to use those optionals. So you have insert one, insert many. Actually here, so what is the basic syntax like this? DB dot collection name dot insert one. And how to insert? You have to use an object. In that object, you will have key and you will have value. Just like how you use a JavaScript object. Insert many means DB dot collection name dot insert. Insert what? Many. Insert many, here we have to use an array. Array of objects, you know that. That means everything you deal like a database, everything JavaScript JSON data, right? So insert many is nothing but it is an array of objects. Now important is it supports all JavaScript data types. That means here MongoDB supports all JavaScript data types. It supports all JavaScript data types. That is primitive and non-primitive. That means number, string, boolean, and you have array objects, everything same. Date, all are same as how you define in JavaScript, right? Actually, we want to store some data, then see how we can store. Suppose show collections. Now into categories, I want to store some data. So then DB dot collection name. Collection is categories dot insert one. Insert one object. Key is category ID. Category ID is one. Value, another one is category name. Category name I given HTML, something like that, and enter. It creates one data. Category ID is number, category name is string. It will just give you acknowledged true. That means it is created successfully. So you can add any number like this. If you want, so I will copy that. That is how we need to define. Oh, sorry. Let me copy this. Okay, that is the option. db dot categories dot insert one. We have category ID, the category name. Suppose you want to insert multiple. Then how do we insert? Suppose I want to insert 2 records at a time. db dot categories dot insert many. And it's an array of objects. In that category ID is 2. Category name is CSS. After that, another object is category ID 3. And here category name is suppose JS, JavaScript, something like this. Script. Now enter and you can see 2 records added. Acknowledge 2. That means 2 records added. And you can see this is adding multiple records. Actually, there is another facility in graphical mode you will see. What is that facility is? You can upload a JSON file. If you upload a JSON file, in that file, whatever data is there, it will add into collection. That means you can create one JSON file and you can upload that. For that, you can use that graphical interface. I will show you the graphical interface. How do we do that? So this is the option how we generate it. So here category ID, category name, and how to configure. Suppose I given some spelling lowercase, in other cities uppercase. Later we will see how we can edit the field names, how we can change the field names if field name is having a wrong. That means now it becomes a problem because others are having category ID I uppercase. One is different. That's what you will learn, how to update the collection, right? So now what are the points done? Database is created, collections are created, and next data is added into collections. We are adding data into the collections. Okay, that is also ready. How to add data into collections? By using insert one and by using insert many. And how we added is by using all the JavaScript types. Okay, similarly, what we will do? Similarly, we will add data into the other tables, show collections. Actually, we will add data into other collections dynamically. Dynamically, we will add. Dynamically means we will design a form. From form, user will fill up the details and submits. It will add into the database. Right? So by default, one record, we will keep it ready so that we will learn filtering and all how to do that, right? Let's do one thing. Once we know how to store the data, what is the next step? How to see what is the data stored? That means now the next important is querying data from collection. querying data from collection. How we can query the data from collection? It is nothing but accessing data from a collection and displaying. Accessing data from a collection and display. How we do that? Actually, for that we have a command called find, and it uses query. Find and it uses query. That is a simple command. Just like arrays means in JavaScript, how to search for anything in array by using find and filter. There is a filter method and a find. What is difference between find and filter? Find will return the first occurrence. Find will return only the single record, and the filter will return all. That means all the records that are matching with the condition, it will return it. That is what. So now queries here are little bit different, because generally other technologies use which queries? They use the queries called SQL or SQL queries. Here everything JavaScript based logic with some entities. How the entities I will show you. Actually, if you write find without query, then what it will do? It returns all. It returns all documents from collection. From collection. So query is not compulsory. If you don't write the query, it will return all. So if you want to return any specific, then you can use. Actually, syntax is like this. db.collection.find like this. db. So categories dot find like this. So it is going to return all the records. So let's see here db dot categories dot find. Enter. It is going to return all. You can see it is returning all the records. How many are there? 3: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And see, for everyone, an ID is generated automatically, because auto index ID is what? True. If auto index ID is true, automatically an ID will be generated for that. So this is how we can access the data. Suppose we want to access only specific, then we have to use queries. Queries are written like this generally. So the queries are defined in this way. So we write the queries like this. In the curly brace, here we have key and value. And this is exact match. That means it will find and return only the record that is exactly matching. Exact match. So here we need to write the query like this. db dot categories dot find. In that, key is category name HTML or CSS. That's it. Now what it is going to do, it is going to return the record whose category name is matching with CSS. Exact match if it is matching with CSS, or you can write like db dot categories dot find, and in the find we defined category ID is some 1 or 2 or 3 like that. It will get only that record and display. So you can define based on exact match. So that is exact match how to define. So see now, I don't want all records. So I want only HTML or CSS. db dot categories dot find, and in the query, so we have to define what is it, category ID as 3. Category ID as 3 means it will get the third one. It is going to return only exact match. So which is matching, it is going to display that. That's how we define. Now here, suppose I want to find out all the categories, or as of now we have only categories. Suppose some products and all are there. I want to find and return all products whose price is above 600. Then how? We have to use the queries like this. So we need to define key. In that, again a query. This query have an symbol $GT. $GT. That means the key is greater than how much? So 600. Like this we should give. Actually, what are the options here? This is greater than. So we have symbols like this. We have the symbols. The symbols can be like $GTE. GTE means what? Greater than or equal. Greater than or equal. We have $LT. So we have lesser than. So we have LTE. $LTE, that is lesser than or equal. Equal. So, and we have $NE. NE indicates not equal. How to write for equal? How to write equal? EQ. Already exact match means equal only, na? Exact match means what? It is equal to. That means how we define. So we define key and value. That is, we define key and colon. What is it? This is nothing but what? Equal. right? That is how we can directly configure the key values. You can directly define, because by default, if you are referring a field name with value, means it will match exact value that is equal to, right? Another, we have the options like we can use dollar, we can use dollar end. This is logical end. We can use dollar or. This is logical or, right? You can use these options. Generally, when we need end and or, end means end and or are required when we are dealing with multiple expressions. And means if all expressions true, it will return. Or means if any one expression is true, right? That is all the condition. So you need to have, this is little bit complex in writing if we don't understand correctly, right? Actually, it is very, very easy. But suddenly when you see it, then you will feel it complicated. But when you write by yourself, then you will understand that it's a very easy technique. Okay, but for that we need such data. I will do one thing. What we will do is, we will create one sample table. In that we will put a lot of data so that you can observe, right? I will do here db dot create collection. I will give here some products. Temporarily, I am creating products table. Okay. In that I want to store all products. I will do one thing. We will open fake store api.com. In that we will select all products, copy this all data, and we will open notepad, paste all this and save products dot JSON on desktop. Products.json I am storing on desktop. Now, if you want all this in a table, then what you can do is simply you open MongoDB Compass, go to GUI tool. GUI is just close this, GUI will be there. Here refresh, you see your tutorial DB. Here you click, you see all the tables. Now what you need to do, just you need to click on which table. Suppose products table. It will show what is the data here. You can add data, import JSON, or you can insert document. Insert document means one by one you have to write the document like this. Like this you need. Remember, you have to write exactly in JSON style. JSON style means key and value, right? Key must be string, value must be any type, JavaScript types, or we will use add data, import JSON, select the JSON file. On desktop, we have a JSON file called products.json, and select, it is a JSON file, and import 20 documents imported. Then automatically data is ready. See, all the data is ready. So that means what we are doing, we are maintaining a separate library, means JSON file. In that put all the data, upload it. It's very simple. I told you already, graphical interface means you don't need commands. You can add tables, you can add collections, you can add records easily. You can manage everything easily. But why we are learning commands? Because in from any another application, if we have to deal, then we have to do that. So, okay, now here db dot products dot find. It is going to find all of them. That means, so you have, suppose, so you see here majority of all the records came here, all of them. Now I don't want all of them. I want only the records whose price is above 600. Whose price is above 600. Then how do we write? Tell me. So that means here I will give query 1, extract all records, all documents from products table. Products table means collection, where price is greater than 600. So how? We need to write the query like this. db dot collection name is products dot what find. In the query, first field name is price. That field name, this is 600 if I write. That means it will, what it will do, returns only 600. Greater than 600. So what we do now, db dot products dot find. So here field is price, and price again query. This query will be $GT colon how much? 600. Like this we write. That is how we need to write. Price is the field name, and price field will use again a query. And what is that query condition? Greater than means GT, $GT, 600. We can display like that. Now see here, suppose db dot, so products dot find, and in the query price, again query $GT greater than 600, and enter. It will get only the products whose price greater than. Actually, only 2 records are there. One record is 695. Another record is 999. Only 2 records matching with that price condition. Only those are coming. Others are not coming. You can see others are not there. Only 2 are there. Right? You can manage by using this technique. So what it will do, it will returns all above 600. That's what option is. Now write a logic, write a query. You write a query, extract all documents. So whose category is jewelry? Write and show me. Write and show me jewelry. Object type. For object types, you cannot use equal symbol, na? Right? How to write equal already we know. What is that? DB dot products dot find. In that query, first in that query, what is the field? Category. Simple. Category is what? Jewelry. That's it. It is a string type. String type, string type. That is simple. It is going to return all jewelry products. Right? All jewelry related options. So usually that is the condition here. You see db dot products dot find category. Category is what? Jewelry. And it will return all jewelry products. 1, 2, 3, 4 jewelry products are there. All the category is jewelry only. All of them category you can see jewelry. Right? The category is jewelry. All are jewelry. Right? We can define in this way. This is second query. Okay. Now see here. Suppose I want extract all documents whose category is jewelry and price is above 600. Now how? That means either category is jewelry, and price is 600. Both should match. Compulsory, both should match. For that, actually, so db dot products dot find. In that first right query, first one is we need to use logical AND or logical OR. Both conditions should match. What are two conditions? First condition is category must be jewelry. Second condition, price must be above 600. Both should match. Then, so we have to use logical AND means $AND and colon. Actually, AND takes multiple expressions. So it is an array. Multiple expressions means array. How to write first expression, second expression? Understood? Huh? First expression, second expression. What is first expression? First expression is what? Category. Category is what? Jewelry. Jewelry is the first. What is second expression? Price. Price again curly brace. What is the second one? $GT. Right? Price $GT. Greater than how much? 600. This is how we write. Many times, what is the problem that you will face is the missing of curly brace, square brace, properly ending, not ending. That is where you will face problem. So first you put a blank skeleton of curly brace, square brace. In that skeleton you write. Then it will be more easy, right? So I will show you here one more option. Suppose I want to display either category jewelry or electronics. Or for example, I want any product, I want all products belong to jewelry or any product Any product whose price is above 600. Any product above 600 and all jewelry. That means products category can be jewelry or their price can be greater than 600. If anyone is matching, it should come. Means if category is jewelry, it will come. Or price is greater than 600, it should come. Then how do you write? db dot products dot what? Find. So in the find, first you need to configure. What is it? Dollar or again array. In the two expressions, 2 or 3, you can write any. First expression is what? Category. Category is matching with what? Jewelry. Jewelry. And what is the second one? Second one is what? Price. Price is matching with what? So price is matching with again dollar GT. GT how much? 600. That's what we need to define. This time same point, but we are using or. Or means what? Either jewelry or electronics or anybody who have price greater than 600. That is the conditions. How do we define? That means how we configure the conditions and define. Right? That is how you do. Here you don't write any operators greater than, less than, nothing. All these operators will not be there. Only these entities you have to use. GT, LT, GTE, LTE, like logical or and logical and like this conditions. So that means you see here. So how do you are defining the products? Let's say I want jewelry product greater than 600. So db dot products dot find query. In that first dollar end, and it is an array. In that two expression 1, expression 2. What is the first expression? Category. Category should match with what? Jewelry. What is the second expression? Price. Price again uses expression. Is what? Dollar GT greater than how much? 600. Then enter. Then it will get one record only matching. That means only one record is jewelry, which is above 600. It is matching with both. Right? That means now suppose I return instead of end here, I'm writing or. Instead of end, I am writing or. Then it will return C. It returns so many records. Why all these records are coming? Or means it is returning C. 695, it is jewelry. That's okay. And another one is so jewelry 168 price, because you said all jewelry and anyone above 600. And you see this is also jewelry. This is also jewelry, but this is Samsung curved monitor. Why? Because its price is how much? 999. Electronics. Right? Either jewelry or anybody whose price is above 600. Then we have to use or. That is how we have to use the conditions. We can use the queries from multiple tables also. I will give those query. One example. This is accessing the data from a table. Now, how we can update, how we can delete, we need to know. That we will see in next session, right? Tomorrow we will continue. In tomorrow's session, we will see how do we update the records, how do we delete the records, and how do we use query. Once we know that, then we will discuss how we have to access the data and present in the UI. For that, server side Node.js will come to picture, right? We'll see in tomorrow's session. Okay.